For those of you who saw Tiffany last year, well, she's sitting here.
Is she making that here?
Yeah, she is. She's too busy. She hasn't made it. I'm still working on that. Without further ado, my pleasure to introduce you to Chef Trey Wilcox.
Thank you, Dave. Excellent, excellent. Great to be back. Yes, I enjoyed being here already because it's hot here. Dallas has seen this little bit of cold weather here and there, maybe all in all 10 days of cold weather. But I'm sure it'll be very ice cold during Valentine's Day, so it's coming for us. But yes, as Dave did mention, I do have my stretch of restaurants. After I left Top Chef the first time, I became a private chef because the significance of exposure and opportunities that came my way, they were pretty great. And if I stayed at the restaurant that I was part of, which was Atticus at that time, I felt like I might miss that window of opportunity. So I decided to take a break. I was a chef at Abacus, which is a 5-star restaurant in Dallas. I was a chef there for 7 years, and I thought maybe it's time to take a break. I took the break, became a private chef, and I think that might have been my second time out here to the store. And I came out as a private chef. Basically, I was cooking for different people around the world. I wasn't owned by any one family. That's a personal chef. What I was doing was private chefing. Basically, it's just dinners, cooking classes, festivals, whatever it may be. I was just using what I was given, which was natural exposure. Then the recession hit, and I got a job. And the opportunity that came to me was with my partner currently that I have now, with the restaurant that I took over in Frisco. After a short stint there, we were presented an opportunity to open a restaurant in Dallas called Marquee Grill, which is located in a historic location called Highland Park Village. Highland Park Village was built in 1940. It is known as the first open air shopping center of the United States. It's the module for where you see these open air kind of shopping centers where you can go out, go into different stores, come out, and go into another store. So in Highland Park Village, that was opened in 1940. I must say that it's also located in the wealthiest area of Dallas. The average household income in this area is $1.6 million, and the average age is 38. So, needless to say, they're very outgoing people who like to eat out. In this area, their ideal of cooking at home is opening a bottle of wine and cheese. Look what we made! Needless to say, when I was private chefing in Dallas, my clientele was in that bubble, and also Abacus when I was there, that was in that bubble also. So now I'm just dead on center in the eye of the hurricane. Needless to say, this restaurant's being very successful. It's very busy. It's a 236-seat restaurant. We're attached to a movie theater, which has been there since the beginning. It's called the Village Theater. We also are controlling and operating that theater. So I also cater the concessions there. We have private screening rooms in this movie theater that you can sit down and watch a ball game. You can sit down and watch a movie with just a small group of people and say, we want to order food from the marquee. Bring it on. So I have my challenges cut out for me. Obviously, with the clientele of people, they can be a little demanding and picky sometimes. So like I just told Gail earlier, I would love to be challenged, and by far this restaurant's been open for 7 months, and it's been easily said to me the most challenging gig of my career. So the next venture, you never know. As for what I'm going towards is something smaller, something more intimate, something that you probably have to book 2 months in advance to get into. Not to say ha ha ha, but to say it's worth the wait. And if it's small and it's controllable, don't get me wrong, I can still do 236 plates of food, but what we call that in a restaurant is gourmet fast food. And what I'd rather do is just gourmet food that's really like knocked out. You know, you're there for a dining experience, you're there for the 9-course tasting, and if it takes 15 minutes to get the next course, you're not sitting there going, what's going on? So I have a goal, and I have a path that I'm trying to go about. It's been a 7-year plan since I was 33. I'm 35 now, and I feel like I'm ahead of schedule. So we'll keep doing that. Cookbook is something that I've been working with someone on. It's a very long process, and what I spoke with this writer about when we first started talking is that we're talking right now, don't expect this book for another year. I went, cool, you know, whatever. But it's something that I think that I should go amongst because I enjoy teaching. And when you have people that are in front of you teaching you, then generally their book can be educational to you. A chef that's going to just cook in front of you and just going to be like, we just do this, we just do that, and this is how I do it, you're generally not going to get much from that person. So Dave has been very confident in my skills of coming back. He wouldn't invite me back if I'm not a teacher. And I'm very sure he would not invite me back if I was not a teacher. And I do enjoy it too. I have two passions in life, and that's cooking and that's teaching. So, with that being said, the menu today reflects a lot of styles of cuisine that I like to cook, and it also reflects what I like to do. I like to do different styles of cuisine. If I put together a 9-course tasting menu in a restaurant, that menu would probably take you from East Coast to West Coast of the world. I wouldn't want to just do something that was just all Italian, or just all French. I've been blessed enough to been trained under probably about 35 different chefs around the world. And I'm like a human sponge. I've sponged a lot of different chefs. I've sponged a lot of books myself, magazines, and what I usually spit out to you is a regurgitation of what I take as my concept of things. We're starting off with the stuffed sea scallops. Just something that I consider just fun, new American food. The stuffing can be changed, and you'll hear me say that word a lot throughout this class, can be changed, because recipes aren't the law. I'm not going to be at your house when you cook these recipes, and I won't come out of the corner somewhere and be like, hey. It's not like that. What I like to teach is I like to reflect on the 5 senses of taste. I want to make sure you remember things about the consumption. You know, consumption is something that chefs think about when we're serving food. The 5 senses of taste, I think we do tend to forget as we get older, so you all look like a very young crowd. 5 senses of taste: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. I definitely touch on those a lot. Texture is something that I talk about a lot too, and we'll also talk about a little bit of what goes on in your mouth as you're consuming food. The crab stuffed scallops are something that I developed a few years back when I kind of saw that people were crusting fish, and I thought that's kind of that's fun, but how fun it would be trying to just jam pack a scallop with crab, and how would you do that? And you know, I've sent this recipe to various events that I've done, and people have misconstrued it into a lot more complicated kind of thing. We're going to start the stuffing first though.